What if one moment could change your life forever? What if a chance encounter with your hero became the beginning of a dream come true? This is the incredible true story of a young boy whose life was transformed in the most unexpected way, thanks to none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a bright Saturday afternoon on Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago, where the city buzzed with life. Among the crowd was Ronaldo, in town for a charity event, taking a quick break for a meal. Meanwhile, 13-year-old Jamal, a devoted football fan, was just a few blocks away. His small room was a shrine to Ronaldo. Posters, jerseys, and even a replica of the legendary golden boots. Never in his wildest dreams did he think he would ever meet his idol in person. But as fate would have it, that day was different. As Ronaldo walked towards a McDonald's, Jamal spotted him. His eyes widened, his breath caught, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Then, with a burst of excitement, he sprinted forward, shouting his hero's name. Ronaldo paused, turning to see the young boy running toward him, his face beaming with pure joy. The crowd around them began to take notice, phones coming out to capture the incredible moment. What happened next would leave everyone speechless. It was a bright Saturday afternoon on Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago. The streets were alive with energy, tourists taking photos, shoppers carrying bags, and the scent of fresh food filling the air. Among the bustling crowd was none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. He was in town for a charity event, but had decided to take a short break and grab a quick meal at a nearby McDonald's. Dressed casually in a hoodie and sunglasses, he blended in just enough to go unnoticed, at least for a moment. Not far from there, 13-year-old Jamal was spending the afternoon with his mother. Jamal wasn't just any regular kid. He was a die-hard Ronaldo fan. His love for football, and Ronaldo in particular, was unmatched. His small bedroom at home was a tribute to his idol. Walls covered in posters of Ronaldo's greatest moments, jerseys neatly hung like prized possessions, and even a replica of Ronaldo's golden boots sitting proudly on a shelf. Every day after school, Jamal would rush to the park to practice, mimicking Ronaldo's legendary footwork and dream of one day following in his hero's footsteps. He had imagined meeting Ronaldo countless times, picturing what he would say and how it would feel. But he never thought it could actually happen. Until today. As he and his mother walked past McDonald's, Jamal's eyes suddenly locked onto a familiar face. His heart pounded. Was it really him? For a moment, he stood frozen in disbelief, staring at the man he had admired for as long as he could remember. Then, without hesitation, he shouted, "Ronaldo!" and took off running. Jamal's heart nearly stopped. His feet felt glued to the pavement as his mind struggled to process what his eyes were seeing. Was this real? Could it really be him? Standing just a few feet away, casually walking toward McDonald's, was Cristiano Ronaldo. The same Ronaldo he had watched for years. The same Ronaldo whose posters covered his bedroom walls. For a moment, everything around him faded. The city noise, the moving crowd. Nothing else existed but the unbelievable sight in front of him. Then, as if his body acted before his brain could catch up, he gasped, took a deep breath, and shouted at the top of his lungs, "Ronaldo!" The name echoed through the busy street, catching the attention of those nearby. Ronaldo, mid-step, paused and turned toward the voice. A warm smile spread across his face as he spotted the young boy sprinting toward him. Jamal, breathless with excitement, skidded to a stop right in front of him, his eyes wide with disbelief. Ronaldo crouched slightly to meet him at eye level. "Hey there, young man," he said with a friendly grin. "What's your name?" Jamal could barely form the words. Jamal," he stammered, his hands trembling. "You're my hero. I've been your biggest fan since forever." His voice was filled with pure joy, his energy contagious. The crowd around them began to take notice, some pulling out their phones to capture the moment. Still catching his breath, Jamal suddenly remembered something. He turned and bolted toward his mother's car, leaving Ronaldo slightly amused. A few seconds later, he returned, clutching a worn-out Ronaldo jersey, the one he had saved up for months to buy. Holding it out with shaking hands, he asked, Can you please sign this for me?" Ronaldo chuckled and nodded. "Of course," he said, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a marker, something he always carried for moments like these. As he signed his name across the fabric with a flourish, the onlookers grew silent, watching in awe. Jamal's face lit up as he held the jersey close to his chest, unable to believe that this moment, his dream, was actually happening. Jamal clutched his newly signed jersey against his chest, his heart racing with excitement. But there was something more he needed to say, something he had dreamed of telling Ronaldo if he ever got the chance. Taking a deep breath, he looked up at his idol with eyes full of hope. "I want to be just like you someday," he said, his voice steady despite his nerves. "I want to play football and make my mom proud." Ronaldo's expression shifted slightly. He wasn't just hearing words. He was seeing something in Jamal, something familiar. It was the same hunger, the same passion he had felt as a young boy with big dreams. He studied Jamal for a moment before kneeling down again. "Do you really love football?" he asked, his tone serious but kind. Jamal's response was immediate. "Yes, sir. It's my dream. I practice every day at the park with my friends, and I watch all your games. I want to be the best, just like you." His voice carried a fire that couldn't be faked. Behind him, his mother, Teresa, had stepped closer, listening intently. She placed a hand on her son's shoulder and nodded. "He's telling the truth," she said with a proud smile. "He lives and breathes football. Every spare moment, he's out there practicing, pushing himself to be better. He's always said he wants to be like you someday." Ronaldo looked between Jamal and his mother, seeing the unwavering support in her eyes and the pure determination in the boy's. The crowd watched in silence, sensing that something extraordinary was about to happen. Ronaldo took a deep breath, glancing at the determined young boy in front of him. He could see it, the passion, the hunger, the unwavering dream. And in that moment, he made a decision. Looking Jamal straight in the eyes, he spoke the words that would change his life forever. "I want to help make that dream come true." The crowd around them gasped. A hushed silence fell over Michigan Avenue as people leaned in, barely believing what they had just heard. Jamal's eyes widened. What?" he stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. Ronaldo smiled. "I'm going to sponsor you to join my football academy in Madrid," he announced. "You'll get the best training, the best education, all expenses paid." For a moment, everything seemed frozen. Teresa clasped a hand over her mouth, tears forming in her eyes. Jamal's legs felt weak as his mind raced to understand what was happening. This wasn't just a dream anymore. This was real. "Are you serious?" Jamal finally managed to say, his voice shaking. Ronaldo placed a reassuring hand on the boy's shoulder. "Absolutely," he said. "But there's one condition. You have to promise to work hard and never give up, no matter how tough it gets." Jamal's head bobbed up and down, his emotions overwhelming him. "I promise," he exclaimed without hesitation. The onlookers erupted into applause, cheers filling the air as people recorded the life-changing moment. Teresa wiped away tears, still struggling to process what had just happened. Her son had just been given the opportunity of a lifetime, by none other than Cristiano Ronaldo himself. As the cheers and applause filled the air, Ronaldo reached into his bag, his expression thoughtful. The excitement in Jamal's eyes reminded him of his own journey, the struggles, the sacrifices, and the determination it took to make his dreams come true. With a warm smile, he pulled out a silver boot, a special edition gift he had received at a recent awards ceremony. Holding it out to Jamal, he said, "This is for you. A reminder to always keep striving for greatness, no matter how hard the journey gets." Jamal's hands trembled as he took the boot, staring at it in awe. It wasn't just a trophy. It was a symbol of everything he wanted to become. He clutched it close, his eyes shining with emotion. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice filled with disbelief and gratitude. But Ronaldo wasn't done. He turned to Teresa, who was still standing in shock, her hands clasped over her heart. From his bag, he pulled out an envelope and gently placed it in her hands. "This is for your family," he said softly. "A little something to help with anything Jamal might need." Teresa hesitated, looking down at the envelope. With shaky fingers, she opened it and gasped. Inside was a check for $10,000. Her eyes instantly welled with tears. "Oh my God," she murmured, her voice breaking. "I don't know what to say." Ronaldo placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to say anything," he replied warmly. "Just support him, believe in him, and let him chase his dream." Teresa wiped away a tear, overwhelmed with gratitude. "You've changed our lives forever," she whispered. The crowd watched in awe, their hearts touched by Ronaldo's generosity. What had started as an ordinary afternoon had turned into a moment that Jamal and his family would never forget. As the incredible moment continued to unfold, the footage of Jamal's encounter with Ronaldo quickly spread across social media. Videos of the heartwarming exchange went viral within hours, capturing the attention of millions around the world. The inspiring scene of a football legend not only signing a jersey, but also changing a young boy's life forever, resonated with people everywhere. Comments flooded in, praising Ronaldo's generosity and Jamal's determination. Headlines flashed across screens, sharing the story of how one moment of kindness could make all the difference. News outlets and journalists rushed to interview Jamal and his family, eager to get their reactions and share their story with the world. Local TV stations invited Jamal to share his experience, and soon, his story was featured on global news networks. As reporters asked him what it felt like to have his dream come true, Jamal beamed with pride and excitement. "It still doesn't feel real," he said, his voice filled with wonder. "I'm just so grateful. I never imagined this could happen to me." Meanwhile, Ronaldo's act of kindness continued to spark conversations about the power of generosity, inspiring millions of young athletes and fans around the world. People marveled at how one football legend's gesture of support had not only changed Jamal's future, but also reinforced the idea that dreams could come true with hard work, determination, and a little help along the way. As Jamal boarded a plane to Madrid, ready to begin his journey at Ronaldo's academy, he couldn't help but reflect on how a single moment, an encounter that seemed like a dream, had changed his life forever. The world now knew his name, and his story would inspire countless others to chase their own dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. A few weeks later, Jamal and his mother, Teresa, boarded a plane bound for Spain. The excitement in the air was palpable as they made their way to Madrid, ready to start a new chapter of Jamal's life. The journey had been a whirlwind. One minute, he was just a regular kid dreaming of playing football, and the next, he was heading to one of the best football academies in the world, all thanks to the generosity of his hero, Cristiano Ronaldo. As the plane touched down in Madrid, Jamal could hardly believe it. This was real. Upon arrival, Jamal was introduced to Ronaldo's academy, and his first impressions were nothing short of awe-inspiring. The facilities were state-of-the-art: massive training fields, high-tech gyms, and cutting-edge equipment. Everywhere he looked, there were young players from around the world, all united by the same dream. Coaches who had trained top professionals greeted him, their faces filled with encouragement and enthusiasm. Jamal was surrounded by excellence at every turn, and it felt like the perfect place for him to grow and develop into the player he had always aspired to be. But what stood out the most to Jamal was the ongoing support from Ronaldo himself. Despite his busy schedule, Ronaldo stayed in touch, checking in on Jamal's progress and offering mentorship whenever possible. Every now and then, Jamal would receive a message from Ronaldo, reminding him to stay focused and keep working hard. "You've got this, Jamal. Keep pushing, and always remember why you started," one message read. With Ronaldo's guidance, Jamal's confidence grew. He trained harder than ever, fueled by the dream that had brought him here. He knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but with the opportunities and mentorship he had received, he was more determined than ever to make the most of this once-in-a-lifetime chance. Years later, Jamal stood on the field, his heart pounding with excitement as he stepped into the spotlight for his first professional match. The stadium was packed with cheering fans, the lights bright above him, but in that moment, it wasn't the crowd that filled his mind. It was the journey that had brought him here. From the young boy with a dream on Michigan Avenue to a professional footballer on one of the world's biggest stages, Jamal had come a long way. He had put in the hard work, sacrificed countless hours of practice, and faced obstacles along the way. But as he reflected on his success, he never forgot the one person who had made it all possible: Cristiano Ronaldo. Jamal often credited Ronaldo's incredible generosity and belief in him for shaping his path. Without that pivotal moment in Chicago, without Ronaldo's sponsorship, mentorship, and unwavering encouragement, his life would have taken a very different turn. "Ronaldo gave me the chance of a lifetime," Jamal would often say in interviews. "But it was up to me to take that chance and work every single day to make it count." He would never forget the silver boot, the signed jersey, or the way Ronaldo took the time to believe in a young boy with a dream. And through it all, Jamal never forgot the simple, unexpected encounter that had changed everything. The day a trip to McDonald's had led to a life-changing meeting with his hero. That moment, filled with kindness and generosity, had set him on a path he never could have imagined. It was the start of something extraordinary, a journey from an excited fan to a professional footballer, all thanks to one football legend and the power of believing in someone's dream. And that's the incredible story of Jamal, whose life was forever changed by a single act of kindness. This story reminds us all that sometimes it only takes one moment to alter the course of someone's life. A simple gesture, like signing a jersey, can ignite someone's dreams and set them on a path to greatness. So, what would you do if you met your idol? Imagine the possibilities. Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.